Welcome to my first live. So I'm turning the stream on a couple minutes early just so I can get used to the tech issues and, the technical stuff and work out any issues. Hopefully you can see me and hear me all right. Please let me know in the chat if this is the case. And then we will start our practice in just a few minutes. Oh, I see Joe, who is my stream engineer. Thank you so much, Joe. He's right outside of the room at the moment, ready to help me if there are any issues. But Joe says audio levels are good and he can see me very good. Excellent. So hopefully the rest of you can see and hear me as well. If you would like to check in the chat to let us know where you are connecting from in the world and saying hi, you are welcome to do that as we wait for just a few minutes. Since my audio and video seem to be working, I'm going to close the door and say thank you to Joe, who is going to be here in case something else comes up technically that I may need help with. But yeah, if you want to check in, let us know who you are, where you're from, and just say hello. That is great. I also have a chair behind me, and this is to invite you to check in with yourself and choose a practice that suits you tonight. So tonight we're going to explore some moving Wuji Qigong practices, and the intention of Wuji Qigong is to allow us to reset our energy to a neutral state, to a baseline. So this can be on the level of the body if we had developed any holding patterns or tensions within our body throughout our day or even our lives with repetitive movements or postural frequent postures. This can also be on the level of our mind. And so certain thoughts that may have become habitual and repetitive that are not serving, we can reset those, as well as on our breath and in our energy. So that's what the Wuji Qigong practices, the whole family of them, are really helping us do, to find that neutral state. So from there we can start fresh again. It's like resetting your computer, rebooting your computer, pressing the reset button on your computer when your computer gets all into a confused state. There are different kinds of Wuji Qigong practices. So today we're going to explore a moving set. We're going to do a warm-up with joint rotations just to get into our body, and then we're going to go through a Wuji moving set that I learned from Long White Cloud Qigong. And everything I offer can be practiced standing or seated, and you're even welcome to remain in physical stillness while imagining yourself doing the movements. This is called intentional practice and is a very valid way to practice Qigong. I see Donna is here. Hello, Donna. Thank you for being here. Donna's from Hamilton, Ohio. Awesome. All right, so we'll get started with our practice without further ado. So coming to stand or sit, an invitation to move between standing and seated practice as suits you and your needs at any given moment. If you are standing with your feet about shoulder width apart, bending the knees gently, letting your energy or center sink towards the earth. Kind of a relaxation towards the earth, being received by the earth. And we're going to start with joint rotations to awaken the body and become aware of all parts of us. We're going to start at our feet, shifting the weight to one leg, lifting the opposite heel. We're going to circle through the heel. I'm going to invite you to continue this circling while I attend to something at my computer, as my screen had turned off. So continue to circle with your ankle. I'm just going to attend to some settings here. And if you're circling the ankle, I'm going to invite you to circle now the other way, so switch the direction. I'm going to ask my technical assistant here to help me a little bit. Joe.
Huh? What?
I'm having an issue with my screen turning off.
Oh.
Am I going to sleep? Can you help?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is it plugged in?
Yes. So continue circling with that foot in the opposite direction as my helpful stream engineer Joe helps me with my screen issue. And then replacing the foot on the earth, coming back to neutral. I'll move over a little bit, shifting the weight to the opposite leg, lifting the opposite heel, and circling through that ankle. Thank you, Joe. And when you're ready, switching the direction of the circles. An invitation to slow down. Noticing how when you slow down, you can feel more of sensations in the body. And then replacing this foot on the earth as well, coming back to even weight distribution between left and right foot. Noticing how you feel. Maybe the ankle joints are becoming a little more awake now. Then we're going to bring our feet together, bend the knees, make what's known as tiger mouth with our hands. So this is the mouth of a tiger. We're going to place the tiger mouth just above the knees and circle through the knees. I'll show this from the side as well. And how far you bend the knees is entirely up to you. You can bend just a little, or you can bend your knees deeper. And if you're practicing seated, an option here is to clasp the hands beneath the thigh, lift the leg, and circle the foot here. And then circle the knee the opposite way if you're seated. Switch the direction if you're standing. If you're seated, switch the leg that you're working with. And again, switching the direction for those who are practicing seated. And then seated or standing, coming back to a neutral place. Again, noticing how you're feeling as we progress through this warm-up of joint releases. We continue to move up to our hips. So maybe taking the hands to the side of the hips and circling, if you're seated, over your sitting bones. If you're practicing standing, circling through the hips. An invitation here to bring your awareness to the center of the pelvis here. So you might, for a moment, place your hand one on the belly, one on the back. Feel the space in between. Find a center. And come back to the sides to help you find the center in the other direction. And we're going to change the direction of our circles. And could you, in some way, circle from the center of the pelvis? So initiating this movement from the center of your pelvic bowl. Just exploring that. Letting the breath be relaxed and easy as best you can today. So as we're opening and relaxing the body, we're inviting the breath to relax as well. And then releasing this movement from the body. Letting the body guide you towards what feels centered. The center of the pelvis centered over your feet. So the weight is directly over the centers of your feet. We're going to move up the spine a bit. We're going to come to our rib cage. So again, you might place your hands for a moment, one in the front and one in the back of the rib cage. And in your felt sense or in your imagination, find the center point here. You might place your hands on the side of the rib cage and find the center point here. And we're going to circle the rib cage from the center point. So initiating the movement from the center of the rib cage. I like to take my hands behind my head here for this one. And the pelvis will move as well in a circle, as will the head. But our intention is to initiate the movement from the center of the rib cage. And notice how that feels different to initiating circling from the center of the pelvis. And let's change the directions here. Letting the movement slow down if you're having trouble finding it. What might happen if you slow down, if you give yourself a little bit more time to feel all the sensations and for the nervous system to catch up with itself. And when you're ready, letting the center of the rib cage align itself above the center of the pelvis, which is aligned over the centers of the feet. So we're building a relaxed, neutral posture from the ground up, while also opening the joints. And we're going to move up some more to our head. And actually, let's just start by tilting the chin towards the chest and lifting the nose towards the ceiling. We'll do this a couple of times just to wake up the neck. There's no need to go to maximum range of movement here. Staying within no more than 70% of your range of movement. And then we're going to do the same thing side to side. So tilting one of the ears towards the shoulder, coming back to the center, going the opposite way. Again, no need to go to any maximum ranges. In Qigong, the general rule or guideline is to practice at no more than 2/3 of your effort level, and I like to apply that to the range of movement as well. And then, if you're comfortable with your neck, we're going to start to move the head around in a circle, circling from the center of the skull. And you might take your hands to the skull to help you feel and connect with the space of the skull as you make this circle. And if this is not feeling nice for your neck, you might just stay with chin towards the chest, nose towards the ceiling, and then one ear to each shoulder. If you are circling, we're going to switch the directions now. Noticing that the rib cage may still move and the pelvis may still move as the weight shifts, so that your center of gravity moves as the head shifts position and the whole body adjusts. And then returning the head to the center. Invitation to align the center of the skull over the center of the rib cage, which is aligned over the center of the pelvis, which is aligned over the centers of the feet. And notice what it feels like to stand here in this alignment. Remembering to relax from the center of the pelvis down so the knees soften a bit. And we're going to mobilize a bit more the shoulders and the arms. So taking one arm in a circle, circling through the shoulder joint. Inviting the rest of the body to join in. So noticing what's happening with the ribs, the spine. Where do your eyes look as you make these circles? Is there a part of the movement that you feel inclined to breathe in on and breathe out on? And let's change the directions of the shoulder circles. Allowing the movement to relax you even more. And if it's not feeling relaxing, is there something you could shift, you could change? Maybe the pace, maybe the range of movement, so that it could become more relaxing for you. And let's release this arm. Notice any differences between the right and left arms. Notice if the central axis still feels in relaxed alignment. And we'll come to the opposite shoulder. So circling here with the opposite shoulder. Feeling the sensations all around the side body, the rib cage, the spine. Maybe the pelvis can help in some way. Maybe the feet can push into the earth to help. And maybe the breath can support you in some way. And let's change the direction. And releasing this arm, returning back to neutral posture. This posture we call Wuji itself. It embodies the energy of Wuji. We'll take the arms to shoulder height, circle through the elbows now. And change the direction. And then we'll come to our wrists, so we'll clasp the hands together. If you can, bringing the elbows together, otherwise you can leave a gap. We're going to circle through the wrists. Noticing the sensations in the wrists, but also in the elbows, the whole arm, the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the way the shoulder blades engage over the ribs, the sensations and movements along the spine and into the pelvis. And let's change the directions. Checking in with the breath, noticing if anything has changed or shifted about the breath. And then releasing, coming back to our neutral posture, standing or seated. Remembering to sink down from the waist, softening the knees gently. Trusting in the support of the earth. Checking in with the center of the feet, center of the pelvis, center of the rib cage, center of the skull. Checking in with the sensations all around the body, with your breath, quality of your mind. I'm going to take one more movement to mobilize through all the joints of the body. It's called constant bear. So around that well-defined central axis, we're going to rotate left and right, spiraling towards one side, then the other, letting the arms wrap front and back. Gently stimulating the belly and your lower back, waking up the organs that live in your abdomen. And if you feel like letting some breaths fall out on sound or sighs, you're welcome to. Letting the whole body find its relaxation, letting all the joints be lubricated and healthy and open. And then letting this movement slowly come to its close. Returning back to the center. Noticing if it's easier for the body to find the center, to find its neutral, to find its baseline. And from here, we'll move to the Wuji Moving Set. Start by placing one palm over the other on the lower belly, just below the belly button, making contact with the body. And this is an area of the body that in Qigong we call the dantian. It sits right there in the center of the pelvis, that center of the pelvis we've been bringing our awareness to. So with our palms and with our intention, we're making contact with the dantian, with our center in the pelvis, our energetic center. And notice if you can feel your breath moving beneath the palms of your hands, or your belly moving as you're breathing beneath the palms of your hands. You might notice that as you breathe in, the abdomen expands gently towards the front, and as you breathe out, the abdomen relaxes back in, retracts a bit. And if you don't feel it, don't worry about it. Just imagine what it might be like if it were happening. And then letting your awareness rest right in the center of the pelvis, in the center of the dantian, so deep in your belly, halfway between front and back, halfway between left and right sides, right there in the center. And observe the breath from the center of your dantian. So observing the inhalation and exhalation from the center of your dantian. And you might feel or visualize that as you inhale, the energy from the center of the dantian expands in all directions. So not just to the front, towards your palms, but also to the back, to the sides, down and up. And as you exhale, feel or visualize the energy returning from all directions back to the center of the dantian. Another way to visualize this is to imagine a point of light right in the center of the dantian. And as you inhale, this point of light grows brighter, so the light reaches in all directions a little bit further, making a sphere that fills the whole dantian, the whole lower belly. And as you exhale, the light gets a little bit dimmer, so the light's returning back to its source, to the point in the center of the dantian. Inhaling, light, breath, and energy expands to fill the whole dantian. Exhaling, the light, breath, and energy returns back to the center of the dantian. With the next inhale, we're going to allow this expansion to propagate through the rest of the body. Inhaling, the arms will lift to shoulder height. Exhaling, the arms will descend. But the movement of the arms simply follows the expansion of energy with inhalation through the dantian and throughout the whole body. Exhaling, energy returns back from the far shores of the body to the center of the dantian. Inhaling, dantian expands, the whole body expands to every fingertip, crown, and toe. Exhaling, energy returns back to the center of the dantian. Next time the arms return by the sides of the body, we're going to leave them there. We're going to move to part 3 of this primal pulse practice. Inhaling, energy expands through the dantian, through the rest of the body, and continues to expand into the space around you, into your field. Exhaling, the energy condenses, returning back to the center of the dantian. Inhaling, energy expanding through the dantian, the whole body, and into the energy field around you. Exhaling, energy returning, retracting back to its source in the center of the dantian. 2 more like this. And letting go of any visualization, just remaining in stillness, in neutral posture, noticing how you feel and the effects of this primal pulse practice. From here, I like to step my feet a little bit wider apart, so a little wider than shoulder width. We're going to bring our palms together in front of the dantian, but this time they're not touching, so maybe 5-10 centimeters in front of my belly. My fingertips are touching. You can even touch the thumbs together if you wish. And for just a moment, connecting your palms to the center of the dantian, to that point right in the center that we've been working with. And then from here, feeling or visualizing energy beginning to move in a spiral pattern from the center of the dantian. So the the palms will begin to spiral out as well. I'm going to start slowly. And the spirals, inviting them to grow bigger and bigger a little bit over time. And feeling this pressure moving through the tissues of our body, through the space around us, our energy field. How big you make the spirals is up to you. This could be enough for you today. If you'd like to grow the spiral bigger, you may begin to bend your knees and grow the spiral bigger. Spiraling out, clearing out any blockages from the tissues and from the energy field around you. Coming to your maximum range of movement today, wherever that is. And then we're going to spiral back in. Same spiral direction. Pausing for just a breath. And we're going to switch directions. So this time, spiraling in the opposite direction. Trying to feel and sense the connection between your palms and the pressure moving through your body, through your dantian, through all the organs, the various tissues, and then eventually out into the field as well. Letting the spiral grow bigger. Maybe beginning to bend the knees if you wish, or you might remain right here, taking your spiral as big as is comfortable for you, remembering the 2/3 guideline. So staying at about 2/3 of your effort level in Qigong. Letting the breath be relaxed. And when you've come to your biggest spiral, returning back into the center. Pausing for a breath. Then we're going to take our palms to the sides of the body, the sides of the dantian. And maybe I'll stand like this. From here, again, first connecting the palms to the center of the dantian. And then beginning to make spiral movements here again, this time in the sagittal plane. Feeling the movement of the pressure through your body in a different direction now. So clearing blockages from a different direction, just like you might scrub a dirty plate or a dirty pot in one direction and then the other. That's what we're doing here. Letting the spirals get bigger again to a point that feels good to you. You might bend the knees or not. And when you've come to what feels like your biggest spiral today, returning back to the starting position. Connecting to the center of the dantian and then changing directions. And moving slowly at the beginning, at first, will give your body time to connect the palms to the pressure moving through your tissues. And growing the spiral again as far as is comfortable for you today, which may be different than yesterday, may be different from tomorrow. And when you've come to your maximum, from there returning back to starting position. We've got one more plane that we will visit, and that is the horizontal plane. So for this one, taking the palms in front of the dantian again, palms will face the earth. Connecting the fingertips, you might connect the thumbs, just like we did before. It's up to you. And finding the connection between the palms and the center of the dantian, and beginning to spiral in the horizontal plane. A small spiral at first. Feeling the pressures moving, mirroring the movement of your hands through the tissues of your body, through your dantian, your body, eventually the field around you. You might stay here, or you might let these spirals grow bigger, beginning to bend the knees. And if you wish, I'll move to the side again. You might let the spiral grow over your head, keeping the palms facing the earth as much as you can. Remembering the 2/3 effort level guideline. And when you have come to your maximum today, from there returning back to starting position. Taking a breath and then spiraling the other direction. Letting this gentle pressure, this guiding of gentle pressure through the body, through the field, clear out any blockages, any unhelpful patterns that you may hold with you. Maybe taking the arms overhead if that feels accessible and supportive. And then returning back to hands in front of the dantian. From here, releasing to neutral posture. Noticing how you feel. Bringing the feet back to shoulder width apart. We'll come to movements called the toroids. We'll start with a vertical toroid, taking one hand in front of the dantian. The back of the hand will face the center line. This arm will come up, and as it comes down, the other arm will come up through the center line. So the two arms are moving simultaneously. Back of the hand, as the hand rises through the center line, faces the center. And this movement helps clear blockages from the central vertical flow of energy through the body. So invitation to make the movement as smooth as you can. One arm rising, one arm descending. and as well defined as you can along the central line. And then we're going to return to hands in front of the dantian, switch directions. So this time the arm will come up, the palm will face the center line, and as the arm descends, the other one starts to rise. Palm faces the center line, one arm descending, one arm lifting. Clearing the flow through the central channel in the opposite direction. Just like you might clear a straw by taking a small brush and moving it forward and back. So that's what we're doing here. Making sure that energy can flow freely in both directions through the central channel. And releasing this movement. Inhaling, the arms will lift to in front of the heart. Palms will face the earth. We're going to send the hands forward and around like a swimming movement. I'm going to show it from the side. Working here with clearing the main horizontal flow of energy through our body. Again, making a toroidal movement. Clearing the horizontal flow of energy through the heart center. So we can send energy out appropriately into our environment, and we can receive energy into the heart from the environment as well. And next time the hands are in front of the heart, we're going to pause and change direction here. Arms will come around, palms will turn up as they come towards the heart. In your awareness, keeping both the front and the back of the heart as this energy comes in and out through the front and back of the heart. And releasing the hands back in front of the dantian. And take one hand over the other so the two palms are facing now. And we're going to move the hands apart and circle them. And we're going to continue circling in the same direction this way. So they're making this figure 8 shape. Figure 8 shape or an infinity symbol. Moving in the same direction past each other. Once you have the hang of this, you can stay right here if you want. If you wish, if you have the hang of this, notice which arm is rising through the center and coming to the side. Rising through the center, coming to the side. And we're going to follow that hand. So it rises, and as it moves to the side, we're going to rotate and rotate again. And again, always following the arm that's rising through the center. As it moves to the side, we'll rotate to the side. This is called stirring and turning. So here we are stirring up all the energy, particularly in the field around us. I'm going to take one more. And if this is really confusing, you can just stay facing one direction and work with the arms today. Come back to the recording for another time. When you're finished with your 3 circles, we're going to pause. And we're going to change the direction. So this time we'll circle the hands away from each other the other way, making a figure eight. Noticing which arm is rising through the center and opening to the side at the top. And that's the hand that we're going to follow. So here, I'm going to turn and step, turn and step, turn and step, stirring the energy all around us. Make 3 circles here. So Wuji energy is undifferentiated. Doesn't have a top and a bottom, a front and a back, a left and a right. So we're clearing any of these patterns here from the field so that we can step freely in any direction that we choose from our base state. Let's come back to neutral posture for a moment, for a breath or two. I'm going to move to bending the body next. So I'll show from the side. We're going to take our hands to start and slide them just above the kneecaps again. Remember those tiger mouths? So not on the knees, but above them. The legs remain straight, but the knees are not locked. And we're just going to breathe here, feeling the opening in the back body. Now, if you're practicing seated, you'll join us the same way. You might place your forearms just above your knees as well. And feeling the opening, particularly in the lower back. So the back remains with neutral spine. There's a gentle elongation through the spine, but it remains with its neutral curves, just breathing. And then, seated or standing, we're going to slide the hands back up the legs, bring them to our lower back. Send the pelvis gently forward, looking up, finding length in the spine, and allowing ourselves to bend back a little bit. I'm just breathing here. So standing, it looks like this. And start by sending the pelvis gently forward, lengthening through the front body, looking up and breathing. Remembering the 2/3 guideline, 2/3 effort level, no more than that. And then coming back to the center. So this has 3 parts. It could be that the part we just did was just right for you and you can repeat it twice more. If you have the accessibility and if you'd like to try, this time you can slide the hands further down the legs as far as is comfortable, maybe wrapping your hand around your ankle and letting the head drop here and just breathing. From seated posture, same thing. Could be that what we just did was good enough and you can repeat that. Or you can allow the hands to slide down further, maybe taking hold of your ankles and letting the head drop down. And breathing and feeling this different stretch in the body. And then sliding the hands back up the legs, moving slowly, giving your blood pressure time to adjust. Taking the palms back to the lower back, sending the pelvis forward, elongating through the front body, looking up, and finding a gentle back bend. Feeling the opening through the front body here. And knowing that whenever you've had enough, you're welcome to return back to neutral posture before I say so. And let's all meet back. If you'd like to try part 3, you can repeat part 2 or part 1 again. And slide the hands again, standing or seated. If your palms are able to reach the floor, placing the palms on the floor and giving a gentle push through the palms. Feeling the different sensation this makes in the lower back. So standing here, placing the palms, your knees can bend a little bit. If you can't quite reach the floor, you can also use yoga blocks to lift the earth a little bit further up, or you can return to the previous stage of this form, letting your neck and head be loose as before. Breathing and sensing. And when you're ready, sliding the hands back up the legs, giving yourself time for the blood pressure to relax and re-equilibrate. Placing the palms in your lower back, sending the pelvis forward, feeling the lengthening through the whole front body as you look up and breathe. And returning back to the center. We're going to take one arm overhead, fingertips pointing to one side. The other arm will come to the lower back. Turn this way. And then we will side bend in the direction of the top fingertips. Pausing here at 2/3 of your maximum range of movement and breathing. So keep listening to your breath. If you stop breathing, you have gone too far, and pull back a little bit towards the center until the breath is able to resume. And then come back to the center. We're going to exchange the arms and side bend to the other side. I'm going to take 2 more to each side at your own pace. Noticing how one side lengthens, the other one shortens. So clearing any postural, habitual patterns from the body to reset ourselves back to our neutral state posturally. And this is my third one to the second side. From here, we will step the feet together, bring the palms together. And beginning with an exhale, I'm going to allow the body to sink down. Bringing the palms to in front of the heart, getting as low as is comfortable for you while looking forward, continuing to look forward. And breathe. If you're practicing seated, you will simply bring the palms down to in front of the heart and imagine that your body is getting really short, really small in the vertical direction. And then pressing your sitting bones into the seat or your feet into the earth, beginning to elongate the body again. Arms lifting towards the sky. If you're standing, you can lift your heels so you become really, really long. And breathe. And then we'll sink down again. Compressing the body. Make sure you're looking straight ahead. Feeling the sensation in the back and all the tissues getting compressed. And then pressing the feet into the earth to rise back up through that center line. Well-defined center line. Lifting the heels if that's available. And once more, compressing the body. Compressing the tissues, getting really small in the vertical direction. And elongating the body. Getting very, very long. And releasing. Stepping the feet back to shoulder width apart. We'll come to heel drops. Now, this depends on what surface that you are working on. The harder the surface, the less you're gonna lift your heels. So you might only lift your heels a couple of millimeters. If you are on a softer surface, like I have a cork yoga mat here, you can lift your heels a little bit higher up. So wherever you are, as you inhale, lifting the heels. Exhaling, we're going to drop the heels, but keep the knees bent. So inhaling, lifting the heels, exhaling, dropping, but knees are a little bit bent. You can join us here if you're seated as well. You can't see that very well. Lifting the heels and dropping. And one more. Coming back to neutral posture, we have one more form before we stand in stillness in Wuji posture, and that's shaking. So we're going to shake the tree. Inhaling the arms to shoulder height, standing or seated. From the center of the pelvis, we're going to shake right and left as we exhale. Then inhale the arms back up. Exhaling, shaking the tree, movement initiating from the center of the pelvis. One more. And coming back to neutral posture. Wuji Zhuang posture. Remembering to soften the knees. Find the weight evenly distributed over your feet. In the center of the pelvis, center of the heart, center of the skull. In vertical alignment. And just feel relaxing down to the earth. Letting the earth support you. The crown rising towards the sky. Feeling the effects of the practice. Embodying the state of Wuji energy, no polarity, undifferentiated, emptiness, yet full of possibilities and potential of what will come. But for now, in this moment, just enjoy the not knowing. Couple more breaths here in stillness. externally still, but internally alive. And within the stillness, we begin to find movement in the external body as well, bringing the palms to the lower belly, to the dantian, feeling the touch of your hands on your belly, grounding you, settling the energy there. And with your next natural inhalation, allow the palms to turn out to the side, bringing them up, looking up. Exhaling, bringing the arms down the front of the body. So we'll do 2 more. Inhaling, energy rising up the back body. Exhaling, energy cascading like a waterfall down the front body. Next inhalation, arms will rise to shoulder height, palms face the sky. Please invite the benefits of your practice today to gather in the palms of your hands. Feeling the sensations in the palms. Then bringing the palms one over the other to your heart center, offering the benefits of your practice as a gift to your heart. Feeling the sensations in the heart. Maybe some gratitude growing within. And sliding the palms to your lower belly, to your dantian, planting the benefits of your practice today as seeds in the dantian, in this energy center in your center. So they may grow and nourish you for the rest of your day, your week, your month, your year, your lifetime. Thank you very much for your practice today. Thank you very much for joining me live. If you are here, thank you for putting up with a little bit of figuring out how to do the tech at the beginning. You're welcome to check in the chat again if you wish. Let us know how you're feeling now. This is an experiment for me today to offer this first live here on YouTube. If the practice inspired you, I will be exploring these practices in my coming workshop and a course. You can find out more about that on my website. I'm going to put the links in the chat. So the workshop will be this Saturday, October 11th, and I'm going to explore a number of Wuji practices and how we can practically use them in our daily life to reset our energy. So here is the link to the workshop. And then later this month, the last Sunday of the month, we'll begin the first meeting of my course called Qigong Towards Balanced Life. And that's a 5-week course with 5 live meetings where we explore the energy of Wuji, Taiji, and Wuxing, the 3 main forms of energy that we work with in Qigong. And again, I'll also offer practical tips for how we can use these practices and the skills and principles that we're learning in our daily life. So if either of those interest you, I've put the links in the chat, and I would love for you to join me. And Donna has checked in saying thank you and feeling energized and wonderful. Glad to hear that. All right. Well, thank you again so much for being here, for joining me. And I hope to see you around this platform, or you can check out my website for the workshop, the course, or other practices that I offer on other platforms. I would love to continue to practice with you. Have a nice day or evening.